going to be talking about buying Phantom comics from eBay and what you need to know before you take the plunge. It's like you're going into a swim pool, but you're actually not. You're just buying Phantom comics off eBay. The first thing you look for on eBay is you make sure the price reflects the comic book you are looking for. Now I'm saying this, and I'll say it again. When you look on eBay, the first thing you look for is if the price reflects the comic book you're looking for, it's normally a good price. Because for example, sometimes if you're looking for a fairly recent Phantom comic, like there might be one that came out last week, and then you have a look on eBay and it's there and they're trying to sell it for $19, or they're trying to sell it for an exorbitant amount of money. And then you can just know that that comic book doesn't go for that much. You can know that comic book, you can get it elsewhere for cheaper, and you can get it and add it to your collection for cheaper. And that's just one of the examples that I'm going to say. Then if it's been sold on eBay for more than what it would have been sold at say a news agency, or what it's been sold at on Few Publications website at thephantom.com.au, then you're probably getting taken advantage of, because it's probably not worth that much. It's probably not worth that much. You seeing a price on eBay, and it's probably not worth that much when you could be getting it for cheaper elsewhere. Because sometimes, especially in the comic book hobby, when you're collecting Phantom comics and you've got a big massive collection and people want to make a price look bigger because they know it's the Phantom and that they know collectors are always looking for new Phantom comics, sometimes they like to put the price up because they know that a person, if they're going to go on eBay, they know that potentially they're going to pay for it. Potentially they're going to pay for the exorbitant amount price tag that's on the Phantom comic. But if you've had a little bit of knowledge and you know exactly what a Phantom comic should be worth, it's probably not worth paying the exorbitant amount of money, because you could be getting that Phantom comic elsewhere for cheaper. I can't even tell you how many times I've looked on eBay, and I've seen the price, and I've seen it in the first few listed items. Now, I'm going to go on eBay, I'm going to have a look, and you're going to see what I see, and I'm going to have a little discussion about it. I'm now on eBay, and the first thing I see is one of the auction items that we just talked about, which is the Phantom issue number 41, and that is an exception because it's an old book. So it's an old book, it's a rare book, so then it commits to the price that it's showing up on the screen right now, which is 1,500. And then as we scroll downwards, we see other books as issue number 190. We got the Phantom comic 251. One of the comic books that I'm having a look at right now, it's called the Phantom comic issue number 634, and it was first published in 1978. Now, I know that's not a recent book, but it's a vintage comic, which then you think that if a collector is going to buy that, they're going to want to have it and then they look at the price tag and they say, hang on a second, I could get that cheaper somewhere else. I could be able to get that comic book somewhere else. They're paying this issue number of the Phantom 634's paying $20. And you already know, up here, that it's not actually worth that much. It's actually probably worth $3 or $4, and you could probably get a whole set of them, a whole set of probably 100 Phantom comics for a lot more than what one Phantom comic is worth. You could be getting 100 Phantom comics, more than that price that they're paying, and you're only getting one for $20. Like, there's no sense in buying it, because you already know up here you can get it for cheaper. Like that's a better price point that reflects the comic book, but it's like a couple of dollars off. What I was just talking about was there's issue number Phantom comic number 839, and it was first published in 1985. And on eBay, it's going for $7.95. When if you go onto a Facebook group, as I will say again, if you go onto there, you will probably find it cheaper and in more books than one. And that group is called the Trader Joe's General Store for Phantom Collectibles, and that's on Facebook. The second thing I would look for if you're interested in buying a Phantom comic, being aware of what you're buying, ensure what you're buying matches what you're going to be getting, and having a good enough look at the pictures that they've provided you. And now, if you're still skeptical about buying that Phantom comic that you're interested in, maybe sending a message to the seller asking for more pictures. Sometimes you buy Phantom comic, it comes in a certain way and you get it, and it doesn't look exactly like what you saw when you first was about to go and buy it. And then you think, oh no, I could have asked for pictures. I could have asked for more pictures to clarify whether I was going to buy that book in the first place. Well, sometimes collectors do that. They ask they ask a fellow seller and they say, could I have more pictures of the book that you're selling? And normally the good person will send more pictures of that comic book that you're interested in. They'll send pictures of this way, that way, and this way, and maybe you might end up buying it, or maybe you won't. But if you are still unsure about eBay, I encourage you to take a look at a Facebook group called, as I will say again, Trader Joe's General Store for Phantom Collectibles. It's a great Phantom group on Facebook where there is true Phantom fans buying, selling, and trading every single day or most weeks, and there's always different types of books. There's always different books from different countries. There's always different books from different sellers, and you definitely always do not go wrong with the people in that group, because they're your normal group people. They're your normal, nice, friendly people, and because they know Phantom comics, they know what they are worth, and they normally would like to give you a good deal on what you're getting. Rather, if you go on eBay and you see something and it's only one comic and it's worth $20, and maybe if you went onto the Facebook group and that same comic was included in a bulk of other things, it might be less than the $20 that you saw on eBay. And if you have any further questions about that discussion topic, you can comment your questions down below and I will try and answer them the best I can.